It's me. Y'all on level 1, I'm level 3. Pounding on the table for my team. Every night I flex, I'm making big moves. That's a big move. Big money, big moves.
We are back with Pounding the Table and our friends over at Peakbot. As promised, we wanted to actually get a demo. So you guys told me this was Avi proof, and I want to see it live in real time. We've actually been using it the past few weeks, and as we mentioned, it is really cool.
Avi, thanks so much for having us, Joey, Shai. Really appreciate it. What we wanted to do today, as Avi mentioned, was give you a quick down and dirty demo of the Peakbot platform. For anybody who hasn't heard of Peakbot before, I'm Dylan, one of the three co-founders. I'm joined here by Ben, another one of our three co-founders. So Peakbot's an automated stock and options trading platform for the everyday trader. We've taken the angle of making automated or algorithmic trading easy, affordable, and transparent. I'll pass it to Ben very quickly to introduce himself. I guess the only thing to say of importance on my end is I'm head of sales, marketing, and business development here. So I'll kick it to Ben. I'll share my screen and we'll get into it.
Sure. Awesome. Thanks, Dylan. Go ahead and pull that up. As Dylan mentioned, I'm one of the three co-founders of Peakbot, along with Dylan, and we have a third co-founder, Dalton. I oversee pretty much every area of the business, help Dylan a little bit in sales, a lot in sales ops. I've been developing algorithmic strategies for the past, I'd say 4 years now, and it really was born out of a need for me as I work a full-time job. It was born out of a need for me to trade throughout the day, and I wasn't able to do that because I was working a full-time job. So I thought algorithms to trade these strategies and these rules that I had set in place were the best option. So been in the algo game for about 4 years now, been trading, for about 12 years now. But Dylan, I see you got the platform up. Why don't you go ahead and walk us through the demo?
Perfect. Yeah, thanks, Ben. And Avi, Joey, Shai, if you guys have any questions throughout, please do not hesitate. Shut me up, whatever you got to do. As we mentioned, automated trading. So what that actually means here is we're executing the trade on your behalf. Okay, so we're not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. You pick the stock, you set the budget, and that's it, right? So what I'm going to show here in just a second is the different bots, is what we like to call them. They're just algorithms, okay? We're not rocket scientists here. You know, this is what Avi mentions is beach stocks, right? We need to find a way in 2023 to put a stock trader in your pocket, little hands-free trading. So really quick overview. Right now, we have 4 algorithms or automated strategies or bots that you can choose from. 2 equities bots, okay, so your common stock trading bots. One goes by the name of Momentum, all right? So that's your common swing trading bot. Hold you in a position for maybe 2 to 5 days on average. Think buy and hold mentality with the execution of trading every few days. The goal is to get you in on 75% of an uptrend while keeping you out of 75% of a downtrend. Gap and Go, this is our newest bot. Won't spend too much time on it. Overnight gap strategy. This is not for the faint-hearted. This is for your traders who can give the account some TLC throughout the week, right? Daily watch list, quick things happening here, swinging for the fences, if you will. Our most popular bots, our options bots, okay? We love collecting premium. We're option sellers over here. So what we've done is we've taken 2 very popular option strategies and we've automated them. The wheel and the iron condor. So the wheel is selling cash secured puts and covered calls on contracts that expire weekly. We give you a watch list of the top 100 to 150 stocks to select from. Ben will get into the technicals on this. Right now, everything's set up on the 25 Delta. We're going to be updating the bot in a few months, maybe weeks. Don't want to overpromise, underdeliver, with a vertical credit spread that we're building into it with more protection on the downside while still being able to enjoy some of the upside. So that's the wheel. Again, weekly contracts. And then we have the iron condor. 1 day to expiration here. Only trading this on the SPY or the QQQ. If you're not familiar with the iron condor strategy, probably not the place to start. You do need the highest level of options clearance, most brokers, to execute this trade. So, Ben, anything I missed or any questions from the gentleman here before we show you how easy it is to actually use the platform?
No, I'd say let's go over to broker integration.
Okay, great. Yep. So first thing you're prompted to do when you log into your Peakbot account is get connected to your broker. So that's how these trades are being placed through your broker account. So we're actually integrated with Tradier, which is our newest broker integration. Great platform. And of course, TD Ameritrade. Now, depending on when you're watching this, TD Ameritrade might have already swapped over to Schwab, all just depending upon the merger there. There's transitioning some accounts over. We will be available on Schwab after their transition is complete. That's how you get connected. And anything to add there? If not, I'll jump into how to add a stock.
Nope, all good there. Let's keep going.
Real quick, I had a
Perfect.
question on that because my biggest concern with any app, and I think a lot of our listeners' concerns will be with security, right? And thinking about, I don't know you guys I know you guys well enough, but other people that are just coming to your site and checking them out, how do I have that trust? So this is all done via API. You're not touching the keys, basically. It's all connected.
It's a great point. Yeah, everything is done through these brokers' APIs. You log in through OAuth integration, so we never actually hold your login credentials. Money from your trading account never comes into Peakbot. All we're doing is just telling your brokerage account what to do and what not to do as it relates to trading based on how you set up your automated portfolio. Yes, we're not holding any type of sensitive information other than what you give us during sign up, which is name, email, phone number. That's really about it.
Yep. Cool. I thought that was a good point to mention because that was my biggest concern, but you guys covered that. Thanks.
Avi, it's everybody's biggest concern. This world of automated and algorithmic trading has not been a friendly one, right? A lot of people have been burned trying to find something to automate their trades. And again, we wanted to make that transparent and easy. So we're going to jump over here into a live account. So you'll see a couple differences here. So what you're noticing is this account is already connected to the broker. When you have your budget in bots here, this is just showing you how many dollars you have activated in your automated strategies. So as you can see, as we move down into my automated portfolio, which again just shows me where my active positions are, you can see on this account I have momentum only trading one stock at the moment, Airbnb, which is active for $200. So that's really only getting me one share, really just testing that right now. My favorite bot and a lot of people's favorite bot here with Peakbot is the wheel. Again, we're not shy about it. We're the only platform who shares a full list of our traders' results. So make sure you go to usepeakbot.com to check that out. But we're collecting weekly premium here. We like to call it rent. So this is the portfolio in this account here running 10 different contracts. So these are either cash secured puts or covered calls. But what I'm going to show you is how easy it is to get started. This big green plus sign here where it says start, add bots and stocks. This is where the magic happens, all right? So we'll click in here. And as we said, easy, 3 steps, select your bot, okay? So on this account, I only have momentum and wheel activated, but know that as a subscriber or even on your 30-day free trial, you have access to all 4 bots. You can only use one at a time, but you have access to use all of them. I'm going to select the wheel here, all right? Now, step 2, we're almost done. Select your stocks, okay? Again, not financial advisors. We're not picking stocks for you. With the wheel, you can only select from the watch list. So on this green text here where it says view watch list, you can actually click on that and it's going to pop up the wheel weekly watch list. All right. So this is updated every Sunday around noon Eastern. So what you'll see here is a ton of good information. If you're not knowing what a covered call or a cash secured put is, maybe schedule a demo with us and we'll walk you through to make sure this makes more sense. But this is the stocks that you can choose from, showing you the strike price, how much cash you need to enter the contract, the premium you're getting paid, which is why we're here. That's the name of the game here. That's the rent we're collecting every week. And it shows you the estimated return as well as the current stock price. So let's just say I pick AFRM off this list as an example. All I got to do is come back in here, type in AFRM. The stock is going to show up. Okay. Now I can add as many stocks as I want in here. If I wanted to go back to the watch list and select AMD, which is a pretty expensive contract, I can do the same thing and I can get that added in here. So you can trade as many stocks as you want. The only place you're limited, I'll just do one for now. The only place you're limited is how many contracts you can sell per stock. So we do limit you on your budget, right? We want you to diversify. We don't want you putting your whole life savings on a single contract. That's not fun for anybody. The most contracts you'll ever sell with the wheel is 10 contracts per stock, but I'm going to put in 1 for right now. And you can see it gives you an estimated amount of capital that you're going to need to secure that contract with a little bit of a buffer built in. So as you can see, that number will change if I wanted to do 2 or 3 or 4 contracts. So all I need to do is hit activate and I'm done. So Avi, do you think this is Avi proof? Is this easy enough?
I could click activate right now. I'm ready to go.
You can click activate. There's going to be a confirmation screen. And now what you're going to see happen in the background is the budget in bots is going to jump up because we're adding a stock or contract. And the wheel is going to jump from 10 stocks or contracts to 11. So I agree. Budget jumps up. And now AFRM is now active for 1 contract. So the wheel actually enters contracts on Mondays or Tuesdays in case the market was closed or we caught you sleeping. And it expires on Friday.
You said that one more time. That was my big gap.
We're going to send out an email on this every Sunday and every Friday now where we're reminding you your contracts are expiring automatically every Friday. It's going to close that contract at the close of business on Friday when the market closes. Just said close a lot. It opens on Mondays or Tuesdays, typically between, Ben, what would you say, 11 a.m. to 12 or 1?
1 p.m.
We want to miss that.
Between 11 and 1, typically.
Yeah, we want to miss that morning action, all the craziness, right? We like the market to settle in a little bit before we enter our contracts. That's going to sit here until Monday. But again, the watch list gets updated every Sunday, and that's it. The most work people do is coming in once every week, potentially, if you want to make changes that often on Sundays to update your portfolio. We have people who don't touch this for a year because they believe in the stocks that they're trading. So that's the basics. Any questions? Quickly?
Yeah. Dylan, thank you for explaining this. This is actually a lot more simple than I thought it would be. A way to think about a high level, though, of like splitting momentum wheel, would you say in the summer when the market was rallying, it was consistent, low volatility, that's when you probably would do momentum, where the past month in September, it's been dipping, the VIX has been increasing, so now there's more dollars to collect in the premium side. Would you say you'd go to the wheel then? Because that's juicier. You can squeeze it a little more now in the contracts where you couldn't really do that during the summers.
Great question. I'm going to give Ben the microphone on that. My only 2 cents is I never stray away from the wheel. I suck at picking stocks. I want protection on the downside. I want to make money while the stock loses money. I'm never going away from the wheel. But Ben, I would love your input on that.
It comes down, we look at this on a per stock basis, right? So while the market will indicate the probability of all stocks moving in a certain direction, we do want to look at each individual stock and do our due diligence before we actually add any stock to a bot, right? But yeah, Shai, you're totally right. In the case that the market is trending upwards and you choose stocks that are in sectors that are trending upwards, you would definitely want to run momentum. Because when you think about the principles of the wheel, the upside is capped. And the upside is capped by the amount of premium that you would earn. So if you sell a cash secured put at $10 on a $12 stock, if that stock goes to $20, all you do is keep that premium and you don't get assigned and you don't participate in that upside. So momentum will allow you to continuously participate in that upside. So it looks for short bursts upwards, which we will see a lot of in a bull market. And then, like Dylan mentioned, we aim to stay out of about 75% of a downtrend. So as soon as the stock starts to dip a little bit, we'll look to get you out and then get you right back in when we sense some upward movement.
No, that's a great explanation. I mean, to be honest, I used to trade options all the time in college because I went in class and I was on my computer all the time, so I can. But now I work 9 to 5, so I can't be from a computer doing it. So I'm more on equities. It's good to hear that it gets triggered once the story changes on the stock. So that's assuring.
Yeah, we've got some really cool stories from our traders, actually. One of my favorites is we have this guy, we'll call him Henry for now, but Henry was trading on his own and he was doing all right. He started to use Peakbot to supplement what he was already doing in terms of trading. Now, he also had a 9 to 5 job. He would actually travel a lot for his job. He mentioned one time, I can't remember the ticker off the top of my head, but he entered into a position before he got on a 6-hour flight, decided to turn Peakbot on to monitor that position for him while he was on the flight. When he got off the flight, that stock had tanked like 30%, like some big news announcement was made. Peakbot got him out with just a 5% loss. So it was a huge, and like he was so ecstatic with Peakbot at that point. He's still trading with us today. I think he's moved mainly over to the wheel and uses momentum for insurance on like his own personal plays.
Not in the summer of 2020 when everything, you could just throw a dart at anything. I would play this game where I'd go to the kitchen at my company and I'd grab an apple. I'm like, how much is this apple going to cost me? And there was times where I'd lose like $600, $1,000, and I'm like, damn, that's an expensive apple. But it happens all the time. And I have the 9 to 5 as well, where I don't have time, unfortunately, to look constantly at the markets. And that's why I have the podcast, right, with Joey and Shai, who are looking a little bit more here. I know you guys are updating some of the UX and experience, because I said that it's great and simple right now, but I think it's going to get a little prettier, and you guys are going to continue to add additional. So you guys have Schwab right now, or you're going to get Schwab, and then you guys have Tradier. And then I know Dylan's doing a good job of reaching out to other exchanges as well.
Oh, thanks for the credit there. I'll take those brownie points. Yeah, so right now we're integrated with TD Ameritrade until they move over to Schwab. Schwab's API connection isn't going to be available to us or other commercial developers until they're fully moved over all their accounts. So we're being told sometime in the winter. So we will be on Schwab, Tradier, as you mentioned, and then we're working toward interactive brokers. And that will be a big one for us, as it'll bring Peakbot outside of just the United States. So we'll be set up there hopefully in the next few months. A lot of brokerage connections to come. And to kind of comment on what you guys were mentioning earlier, look, the wheel is a great way to collect your passive income. Momentum, although we have other bots, it's a great supplement to the wheel, right? Because you can use the wheel as your building blocks. You know you're going to collect an extra paycheck every week in premiums. Now that allows you a little bit more freedom to go, risk the biscuit a little bit on some individual stocks, if you will. Right. And a lot of our traders do that. As they subscribe, they'll get a secondary license to be able to trade multiple bots at the same time. So what I'd love to do is show how to edit your positions really quickly, just because I think it's important to understand that you're in the driver's seat at all times. Sure, you have a bot trading for you. That's what you're paying for. But if you didn't like anything, or if you wanted to make sure that you were in full control before you went on vacation or whatever and not wanting to worry about it, you can edit your position at any time. First off, you can go into your broker, whether it's TDA, Tradier, wherever, and you can manually make any trade you want. And Peakbot's going to pick up where you left off. So you can do that at any time. Additionally, you have the ability to edit your positions here. So for AFRM, which I just added for demo's sake, let's say I don't really want to trade that. Or let's say I've been trading it for a couple months and I'm done with it. I can come in here and there's a little gear icon on the right-hand side. I can click on this and it'll give me my edit screen. So I can pause, smart exit, remove. For this instance, I'm just going to remove the stock because I don't actually want to trade it. In many instances, you would do this on a Sunday. If you decided you didn't like the contract you were in anymore, you can just go ahead and remove it. And now it is gone, and Peakbot's not going to execute that contract for you following week. Same thing on the equity side of things with the momentum bot. You can pause it, which tells the bot, don't buy, don't sell. Right? If you're in a position, it's not going to sell. If you're not in the position, it's not going to buy. Right? So if you just wanted to have peace of mind, you can do that. Smart exit's probably one of the cooler features on the equity side, where what it does, it actually removes the bot after your next sell order. So if you're saying, hey, you know what? I've been trading Airbnb for a couple months now. I'm done with it. I've either, juiced it for everything I can, or it's been in the tank. I want to do something else. You can tell it to sell out of your position the next time it sells. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Bot, please sell me out. Not now. The kitchen's not on fire, but maybe later today or tomorrow, whenever it was going to trigger. And then remove it from your portfolio, which simply means it's not going to go back in and search for another entry point. So it'll actually just remove itself after it sells. I feel like I'm rambling.
So I have a question for you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Is there any way, I see the individual stocks, is there a way of filtering by sector, by aggressive companies, like conservative companies? Is there any way of filtering? I watch the news on CNN and, I think I hear this, like this sector should probably get impacted in coming weeks. Can I click like industrials?
Sure. Great question. Right now, we don't have the sectors built in, right, to a watch list per se. We do utilize a lot of other websites and data to help us, right? So when we go live on our show, we're using Bar Chart, FinViz. Ben, you have a couple other platforms that you like to utilize.
FinViz is like the main platform that we use to analyze like different sectors and stocks. And we've got a bunch of different screeners on there. Dylan, if you want to pull up the momentum watch list, So, Shai, to answer your question, like on Peakbot, we don't group stocks by industry sectors or anything like that, but we do include usually a list of like 10 to 20 stocks that pop up on one of our momentum scanners. So that way, yeah, and what we're looking for in that scanner is a decent movement upwards. So we're looking at like moving averages, MACD, RSI, that kind of stuff, to see what stocks are in an uptrend. How far are they away from their 52-week high? And then we're also tracking upcoming earnings. So earnings are a little riskier, as we know, but if you think you've got a good beat on earnings and you think that stock's going to pop when it reports, then we want to call out those stocks that have historically had a big movement on earnings releases.
Gotcha. That's good to know. Is there any kind of triggers for volume based? Like if certain stocks get getting a lot of volume due to some news events? Yeah.
Yeah. So the technical indicators that we use in momentum, we also use it in Gap and Go. So it includes volume. We look at RSI, MACD. Yeah, Dylan's got it all on screen here. Simple moving average, exponential moving average. We use a variety of different indicators to, do the best that we can to get a solid opinion on what direction the stock price is going to move.
So it's thousands of lines of code, right? But I think maybe an interesting and relevant topic is so many people, when we give our demos, which by the way, 15-minute personal demo to anybody who wants one, we'll make sure the link is available. Everybody's like, yeah, I've been looking into AI trading and AI bots. We're just like, this is not AI. This algorithm's not going to get up and walk away on you. And people are like, well, why isn't it? Well, trading, our angle for now, we're not saying we won't eventually have AI bots if that's where everything goes, but we're following predefined rules, right? That's what trading does. This is how 75% of stocks traded in this country are traded via an algorithm, following a set of predefined rules and executing on those rules every time. It's just a bunch of if-then statements, right? If all this happens, it will buy. If all this happens, it will sell. And we're just bridging the gap.
We want to keep it simple. We don't even come close to making some claims that other algo providers make. Like on the wheel, we're telling you you're going to make 0.5% to 1% in a week. And when you look at that over the course of time, that's a phenomenal return. But we're not going to sit here and tell you, hey, run momentum, run wheel, you're going to see 150% gain in 2 weeks, like some other people might. So we're just keeping it simple, right? We want to be transparent, like Dylan mentioned. We want our traders to understand and know the strategy before they actually go ahead and automate it.
I love that you guys are claiming you're hitting home runs every time, because anyone that claims that is not. They're striking out quite a bit too, right? And so
yeah, listen, man, I'll bunt my guy over to second and then let him steal third to hit a sack fly in. We're piecing together these wins here.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I love it. And now, for the listeners of Pounding the Table, is there anything extra that, because they're listening to us weekly, they can get as a thing below? I've never done this before, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah. So absolutely. You hopefully should be able to see my screen. So this is our pricing, and it's found right within the Peakbot app. This is essentially your store. So we have 3 different subscription options. All right. So we bill either quarterly or annually, although we're showing you the monthly price just because that's easiest to consume. $19 a month, $49 a month, or $99 a month. If you're listening to this and you're a fan of the show, we'll throw a code PTT pod in all caps. That'll get you 50% off. So I'll put in another code just to show what the price would be. Your equivalent would be $9.50 a month, $24.50 a month, or $49.50 a month, down from $19.49 or $99. I know there's a lot of numbers, but the point is it's affordable for the everyday person, and that's what we wanted to do here. 50% off if you're a fan of the show. Use code PTTPOD, all capital letters. And
if you're not a fan of the show, too, you can still use.
If you're not a fan of the show and you're a fan of us, screw these guys. I'm just kidding. So yeah, great question. Glad you mentioned that. And then I guess a couple of other things super quick. We're available, okay? Customer service is what we're building this business on. I know our competitors aren't giving their cell phones out of co-founders. We are. Call us crazy, but additionally, you can use this Peakbot chat feature right here in the bottom corner of your account 24/7. We dare you to go 5 or 10 minutes without an answer here. As we mentioned a couple times, we're giving demos, 15 minutes, come in, We'll share our screen kind of like we did today, answer your questions, and make sure you're comfortable. That's more important than anything else. If you're comfortable and you know what you're getting yourself into here, you can really start to automate your portfolio.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll start sharing too. I know we've been doing it the past 2 weeks, so we'll start screen sharing some of the things that we're doing. Dylan, your story is amazing too. I don't know if you're able to share in public, but you're kind of like me, right? You have your 9 to 5. You weren't able to do it, and you just kind of set and forget it in the wheel. And you were showing me it was like 200-something% up on the year.
Well, okay, let's tame people. My account TD Ameritrade is silly, and most brokers do this. Midway through the year, things were cooking. I was up like 34, 35%. So I was like, I got to add an extra couple grand in here. And so then the chart goes way up and shows that you're up 95. So current present day, I'm up just about 40% year to date. That was like 55, 56%. Got beat up these last, month or two. But for a guy, who I came from the world of sports sales and marketing, I'm no trader. I've run the wheel every week this year, about 7 to 12 contracts a week, and I'm up just about 40% year to date. So I'm thrilled. And Ben said the code PTT works. So strike it, reverse it. The code is just all capital letters PTT.
Awesome.
Pounding the table.
We will put that below.
All right.